Italian Football Podcast.
First of all, Juventus' away record this season is absolutely abysmal. It's played 15 in Serie A, won 7, drawn 2, lost 6. They've scored 13 goals in 15 Serie A away games this season, conceded 13. 13 goals scored in 15 away games. That is absolutely unbelievably bad. I can't underline how bad that is for a team that's fighting for top 4, but wanting to fight for the Scudetto, but even saying wanting to fight for the top 4, even wanting to fight for Europe, scoring 13 goals away is terrible. And they've now lost 9 games away from home in all competitions. Remember, they also lost all 3 games in the Champions League group stages away from home, including against Maccabi Haifa. So first of all, before I talk about the attack and the creating the problems, I mean, what can you say about this, Nima, about this away record? I mean, because their home record's actually really good. I think they've actually got the best home record in Serie A this season. I think they might even be better than Napoli's now, because Napoli have lost a couple of home games recently. I'm pretty sure Juventus have got the best home record in Serie A, but their away record is so bad. I mean, what?
Yeah, Juventus do have the best home record in all Serie A, 36 points, 11 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. And then away, they are dreadful. They are absolutely abysmal. They're 6th, but we should say they are 6th with one game in hand to Milan, who are just above them. But yeah, no, they don't have a good home record. They really don't.
I think it's the goal scoring as well. I mean, Inter have got a worse away record actually than Juventus.
They do.
Have this season.
They've scored 21 goals,
and so have Milan. And so have Milan as well. They've got worse. But they both two teams, at least. I mean, they're scoring. But Juventus, 13 goals. 13 goals in 15 games. That is just, that sticks out like a sore thumb. That's that number.
It does. It really does. But I think it also shows that it's a team it's a work in progress, isn't it? It's a team that's not creating a lot away. They're not a team that create generally a lot, but they usually, Allegri teams have that kind of killer instinct, and this season they don't have that, and we've spoken about that with Vlahovic and so on and so forth. But I don't think it really. I think the broader point here is not just Juventus' away record in this game. I think it's not by chance that every single Italian team that play, we're recording this on a Monday before Fiorentina play, but so far, out of the 7 that have played in Europe last week, only Roma won. Every other team lost or drew. So that tells me that no Serie A team, or generally Serie A teams as a whole, don't have the depth to compete on at this point of the season on several fronts. And there's also the motivation issue. Juventus know they're not going to finish in the top 4 overall.
They did rest a few players as well, as did Milan, as did Inter. As did Napoli.
Rotated 5 players. Yeah. So there is, but that's what I'm saying, that the depth just isn't there for these teams to perform on 2 fronts. And Napoli have built such a huge lead, so you can't really blame them. They've already won the Serie A. Inter and Milan, you can blame them more because they haven't won anything and they haven't secured anything. And Juventus, well, you kind of understand that because, well, they have to deal with what they've got, and what they know is that they are. They don't know they're going to get their 15. Allegri doesn't know for a fact that he's going to get those 15 points back, and he knows his best chance to play in the Champions League next season is to win the Europa League.
Yeah.
So there is that's the overall point. But if we look at the actual away record, yes, I think it's dreadful. There's no excusing it. It's unacceptable for a team like Juventus to score 13 goals in 15 games. It's unacceptable for them to not do better.
Yeah. If I look at this game, I think part of the problem is that generally Allegri's gone 3-5-1-1 in away games. He's extra cautious in the away games. This game, that's a problem in itself. And that, it's a very simple way of looking at it, but that does help explain why they've created and scored so few goals. But in this game, he actually went 3-5-2, but he went Milik and Vlahovic together. It's just. I'm sorry, but that's just common sense. That those two are never going to work together. They're way too similar. They're 2 big strikers who, they're too alike. They're just not going to work together. I just thought that was a really big mistake. But if we're looking at the broader picture, and the problem is that, I've said this and I tweeted about this even after the Sporting game, which Juventus won. So people can't criticise me for just, jumping on a bad result because they won that game against Sporting. But Juventus and Allegri is incapable of building an attack in open play. Juventus, they can only create on a counter-attack, on a cross, if we're talking about open play, but basically off corners and set pieces, and which is where the Brexit football comes in.
Oh my God,
And
here we go. Here we go.
In open play, it is abysmal. They're just incapable of putting any kind of patterns together to create anything in open play. And I did some digging on this after the Sporting game, because in that Sporting game, in which Juventus was so incredibly lucky to win that game, they had a 0.24 open play XG. They basically created nothing from open play against Sporting Lisbon. So I did a little bit of digging, and this is accurate as before the weekend game, so not after. It would have got worse after the game against Sassuolo, because Juventus actually had a 0.4 open play XG against Sassuolo. Juventus 10th in Serie A for open play expected goals this season, and Juventus had a 29 open play XG before the last match day.
But what about for actual goals from open play? Where are they on that? Have you checked
actual
that?
Open play? I think they had 30. I think they had 30 from open play. It was similar. It was pretty much similar, but I think they had one more goal than their expected.
I just thought when Fagioli was substituted off for basically making that goal for Sassuolo, that mistake, and started crying. I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't stop laughing, because that's the most Allegri thing in the world. Like,
what do you mean? Like subbing him, or
yes,
subbing him after the mistake?
Yeah. Immediately after the mistakes, like, you're off, and I think that will help Fagioli. Yes, he was upset and he cried and all that, but this is the profession. This is professional sports. It is unforgiving. It is that hard. You have to deliver. You can't make mistakes like that, and it don't have. I think in the long run, it benefits.
Like Juric and what's his name? Juric, when he substituted the what's his name, Radonjic for the
No,
10 minutes after coming on.
So. Yeah, but I think, you have to. Actions have to have consequences at this level, and I think even though it's harsh, it will benefit Juve and it will benefit Fagioli in the long run if he learns from it.